No, y'all know how it goes. Give me like 2 seconds, all right? Get some more people up in here. Hope everybody's doing good. Man, the weather is switching up here, so your boy, I'm on today, so I'm like, you know what I mean? Make sure we get everybody in here and everything, you know what I mean? Really do. So, rapper Foolio, I want to talk about him a little bit because I covered his story. If you want the whole sheding about what happened, feel free to just go in my description area. Give me 1 second. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Go in my description area or just go to the link that you click to get here. And there's a video short that I put up before I even started this video because I wanted people to hear the official announcement or whatever. But there's been 3 separate people that have been arrested over the weekend in cahoots with this young man's murder. One of them being a female. Told y'all be watch these six. Watch these six. So I'm gonna read off to you guys what exactly they have so far. Florida authorities on Monday announced they arrested 3 suspects in the slaying last month of rapper Foolio, and said 2 remain at large who were all charged with murder, first-degree murder. The slaying was fueled by an ongoing feud between rival gangs, which we didn't know before. The Jacksonville rapper, whose real name is Charles Jones, was fatally shot early June 23rd in the parking lot in an uptown Tampa hotel. Police found 2 vehicles that had been shot in the parking lot. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office said on the social media that there were 3 arrests Saturday. The suspects were identified as Sean Gaithright, 18, Alicia Andrews, 21, and Isaiah Chance Jr., 21. Andrews and Chance are charged with premeditated first degree murder with a firearm and a conspiracy to commit premeditated first degree murder with a firearm. Gatright is charged with 2 counts of premeditated murder with a firearm and 3 counts of first degree attempted premeditated murder with a firearm and tampering with physical evidence. Now, if you need some, if you need some detail, Miss Alicia Andrews is the one that's being charged with premeditated first degree murder with a firearm and conspiracy. So basically, all these guys are being charged with the same thing, and there's 2 still remain that they haven't charged yet because they haven't found them. They are currently at Duval County Pretrial Detention Center on murder charges pending transfer to Tampa. So they're going right back to Tampa. If you know anything about Florida, you know where they're headed back to. The suspect at large, Rashad Murphy, he's 30. Now, do you see the distinction in these? Okay, so the ones that they caught were, and I want to repeat the ages before I keep going here. The ones that were caught were 18, 21, and 21, right? Now look at the age difference. The 2 that they're looking for, the 2 suspects at large, Rashad Murphy, 30, and Davion Murphy, 27, so either related or brothers somehow. They are each charged with first degree murder and 3 counts of attempted first degree murder. Police did not specify if the 2 are related. The day Jones was killed, Chance and Andrews tracked down and followed him and his entourage at 2 separate locations. So they were following Foolio. So just to give you an update if you're not familiar with this, Foolio was a rapper, basically kind of like a drill rapper. He was down in Florida. Shout out to Florida. I lived there for a minute. He was back in Florida. He wasn't residing in Florida. He was back in Florida celebrating his birthday. That's what makes it more tragic. And so he was celebrating his birthday, unbeknownst to him, these people had got wind because he was showing his location. They had got wind that he was back in town, and based off him showing his location, they will follow him from location to location. So as it says right here, at each location, the day Jones was killed, Chance and Andrews, which is the girl, okay? Chance and Andrews, now listen again, tracked down and followed him and his entourage on 2 separate locations. So the girl was one of the main people that was actually helped tracking this man down while the dudes did the dirty work. So I tell you, I got to watch these chicks. At each location, they got out their vehicle and Chance used a cell phone, authorities said. After he used the phone, a second suspect arrived at each location, police said. Both vehicles then followed Jones to the hotel, they said. At the crime scene, one vehicle drove by the victim's parked cars twice and then left. Then the 3 shooters exited the vehicle and began shooting at Jones' vehicle, killing Jones and injuring 3 other people. Tampa police identified the suspects as Rashad Murphy, Sean Gaithright, and Davion Murphy as the shooters. The sheriff's office documented Johns as a 6 block gang member in Jacksonville. The gang has feuds with gangs ATK and 1200. I know who 1200 is. Chance is an ATK member. Rashad Murphy is a 1200 member. Davian Murphy is a 1200 member. The Food from Six Block and his rival gangs ATK and 1200 have spanned over a decade with dozens of murders against both sides, police said. It was not immediately clear Monday afternoon whether the arrested suspects had retained attorneys. The case is ongoing, said the sheriff's department, and posted a video of the three suspects' arrest, which I have seen. State Attorney Susan Lopez, who is holding over this case, I've heard her name mentioned several times now. State Attorney Susan Lopez said at a news conference Monday afternoon, all five of these defendants are facing life in prison. Life. Even the ones that didn't pull the trigger. Even the ones that didn't pull the trigger. That means that girl, too, she's going to jail for life. In Florida, if you participate in planning a murder, you can be accountable for the person's death. That is, if we intend to do here. I'll say it one more time. State Attorney Susan Lopez said at a news conference Monday afternoon, all five of these defendants are facing life in Florida state prison. Life. Even if the ones that didn't pull the trigger in Florida, if you participate in planning of a murder, you could be held accountable. That's why they charged each one of them with premeditated murder. That's exactly what they plan to do. She continues, it is clear that all had one purpose in coming to Tampa, and that was to kill. They followed this man, location to location. Lopez reminded the public about the emotional toll homicides have on victims' families. His fans knew him as Foolio, but his mom knew him as Charles. We're fighting to make sure that she gets the justice deserved. Jones, 26, was celebrating his birthday the night he was killed. According to video he posted on his Instagram story, he had 1 million followers on his platform. He shared a video advertising pool party and told his followers to direct message him for the address. Later that night, he posted to police, shut it down and kicked us out the Airbnb rental. His lawyer, Louis Fusco, had written a statement that said Jones relocated to the Holiday Inn where he was reportedly ambushed in the parking lot. And announced in the April announcement release of his records, Resurrection Jones posted that he had already survived multiple attempts on his life. R.P. to Julio Foolio. I want to first say that. You have a good day too. Guys, if you know me and you know of me, make sure you write my Cash App in the comment section. I want to talk about something that has to do synonymous with Julio and this new form of what people do. So my Cash App is $STRINGERBELL80. That's S is in super, T is in terrific, R is in ready, I is in incomplete, N is in never, G is in great, E is in everyone, R is in ready, B is in boy, E is in everyone, L is in life, L is in life again, 80. If someone would write that in the comment section so I could pin that. It's a very dangerous game you play with Florida. Florida doesn't play any games. I lived in Florida for once in a time, and I can tell you Florida don't play no games when it comes to crime. They're very tough on crime state. They're very similar to Arizona, and they will lock you up. Now, with that being said, I don't even want to talk about what these kids are facing or whatever the case may be. There's three of them that have been found, and there's two more that are still on the run. And if you guys want to see the announcement or whatever, I put that and posted that before I went live on here, so you guys can go check that out. One of the things that I have a problem with here is where we've gotten in society as far as people and their mindset. You got to understand what they was just read there. These kids came from another area along with a girl. They knew that this dude was in town based on his own posts inviting people, and that's where you made your mistake. Stop thinking that the hood's your friend, bro. Strangers in the hood ain't your friend. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know why so many people, these new wave people, are so scared to talk about this. But let's be for real. Even before a couple years ago, when we had this whole, if you want to say, woke movement, people were beware and aware. Queen Keish, what's going on? How you doing? Surprised about the girl involved? I'm not surprised about the girl involved at all. Queen Keish, let me tell you this. I've heard that about 5 times today. 5 times. I'm surprised a girl was involved. Not in Florida, I'm not. I wouldn't be surprised in New York either. You know what I'm saying? To be quite honest with you, If you just look at the Department of Justice, what you'll find, and a lot of women are surprised by, when I had to show one of my friends, I don't have friends. Okay, that's great. Well, since you don't have friends, you're not a person I want here. I don't have friends. Who the hell wants somebody like that around them? Bye. Yeah, anybody says thank you very much. Anybody says I don't have friends, I'm just like, all right, you can go. How about solving beef instead of killing each other, especially our own people? She set it up. I hear. There you go. And that's what I've been talking about before. And that's why I wanted to go. Give me 1 second right there, Queen Keisha. Make sure you stay here. This is the thing. All throughout my life, and a lot of people can attest to this, especially in the New York City tri-state area, we've known of chicks that go around and they set shit up. They put people in the mix of shit. They'll say, oh, so-and-so said this about me, or whatever the case may be, and that's just not the case. Y'all seeing demonstration of that right now with some of these female content creators. Even though it ain't in the street and it may not result directly in somebody's death, it does result in a lot of people's damage. This is not a bang session on women. I'm making you understand something. A lot of these girls, they either come from one or two or three kind of households as they're growing up. Mind you, this girl, I think she was what, 19? Oh, no, she was 21. So she's still young. You know what I'm saying? Like me personally, I wouldn't date a 21-year-old girl. There's nothing I could do with a 21-year-old girl. You know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing I could do with a 25-year-old girl. 28, yeah. 21. And the reason I say that because these two men that they're looking for are 30 or 31 years old. Not that that's a 10-year difference if you're 31 and he's 41, but if you're 21 and you're 31, I don't think y'all should be around each other. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? But I could be wrong. Who knows where they live at? There are a lot of girls out here. I have friends that are in jail. I often give an example of one story that I know personally where a girl came around us and she said, oh, these dudes said I took some money from them and I didn't do it. Come to find out she did take that 10 grand from them, and that's why they were getting at her. But she came around to us lying. You understand what I'm saying? So she basically set a trap for them people. You get me? There's always girls that have been in the mix of stuff. If you go to the Department of Justice website right now, one thing that you'll find is some telling demographics of how in the past 15 years, women have outpaced men and as new inmates. And it's been increasing and increasing year after year after year after year after year after year. Ladies, it's all great to celebrate when you have your triumphs and you have your wins and everything like that on social media. But that's not the only thing that y'all can celebrate is your wins. You have to celebrate your losses too. And it's something that a lot of you women ask from the guys to literally look back and I guess investigate your shortcomings or whatever. We're asking you ladies to do the same because what a lot of you ladies don't know, and as you're pronouncing, oh, we're college graduates, I own my own business, and da 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 da, and then you point to the men as being the low bulls and why can't they get things for that, but you never point to the girls that are involved in these situations too. This girl is 21 years old. So what type of rearing do you think she had? I'll tell you what type of rearing she had. If she lived in Florida, some hood rearing. Let me tell you something. This is no bomb on Florida mothers and nothing like that. But if you know, like I know, and you've been down to Florida, Florida mothers a lot of times are strippers, call girls. Florida moms are scammers. Florida moms are thieves. Not all of them, of course not. But there's a good percentage of them in these hoods. This is what they do. You know what I'm saying? And so the girls, they grow up in a certain type of environment where they are kind of like quasi masculine. That's the best way I could put it. And based off the way that they are, these girls, they actually like pretty much like have the same tenets as men. They'll do the same dirt as men. They'll get down the same way as men. Why? Because they a lot of times they had male cousins that's what they were into in Florida. A lot of times they had uncles in them that they had demonstration from that were in and out of jail all their life. In fact, their own mothers were part of crimes. In fact, their mothers used to be part of drugs or whatever, whatever, whatever. And a lot of people, African Americans specifically, don't want to have these conversations. And I don't know why. I consider myself black, even though I'm half Cuban. But at the point of it is this. African Americans, you have to start taking responsibility for the girls too. The girl just now, it just, I mean, I got tons of stories and I'm going to start putting more of them up because you can't just have your glory in these stories. And then, and I'm not saying Queen Keisha was pretending. Maybe Queen Keisha didn't look at it like that. I'm not saying that Queen Keisha go back with me. But what I'm saying is a lot of times women don't want to have stories when it has to involve, or have the conversation when it has to involve, when it's a female and she's in the dirt. This chick is 21 years old, and if you heard by Susan Lopez, who is the state's prosecutor, she's gonna seek for these motherfuckers to never see another. Oops, excuse my friend. She's gonna seek for these guys never to see another day in life again. You understand what I'm saying? She's looking to send them to jail for life. If they don't get life, which probably 3 to 4 of them will. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be 1 or 2 of them. But if I had to make a guess, the one that's gonna be snitching here in the end, or who did the most dirt, who do you think? I'll give you a second to figure it out. Who do you think out of the 5, with 3 already caught, who gonna start talking first? Of course, the girl. Oh, vanity always rules. She's gonna be the first one talking, but mind you, if you listen to when I read the article, she was the one following Julio Foolio to each hotel room and his entourage. She was the one that was calling up and saying, "Hey, they over here, they over there." She was all in the business. You see what I'm saying? But in the end, they're gonna go lightest on her, and there's gonna be an outcry. Oh, that girl was manipulated. She was taken advantage of. She didn't know she had an unruly childhood. They'll give her every excuse in the book just because she got a vajay in her skin color. And I'm saying in 2025, we cutting that shit out. You wanted to hang with the boys, then you do the same time as the boys. And that means life. Bye bye. And more or less to you. Because let me tell you something. What type of offspring do you think that girl's gonna bring into the culture? See, if y'all want to live in this utopia that y'all pretend y'all want to live in, where everybody pretends like they're rich. Oh my God, even though I grew up in the ghetto and I grew up in the projects, oh my God, I'm like quasi, like, oh my God, yeah. Listen, man, I live in here in Connecticut suburbs. And when I say the burbs, I mean the burbs. All right, most of my state is Italian and Greek. I'm gonna wake y'all up on something. I've been here almost all my entire life. Prior to that, I lived in suburban neighborhoods. The way that y'all emulating and trying to fit in, or whatever the case may be, with these little statements, a lot of people gonna pretend like they don't know what I'm talking about. I wonder if she pretended to be a fan. No, she didn't pretend to be a fan. She was part of a rival gang, baby. This was a gang member. She was in the gang. You don't remember watching New Jack City Queen Keish? They had a girl in there. Her name was Keisha. Remember Keisha? Rockabye, baby. Well, there's a whole bunch of Keishas out here now. And Keisha will blow your mind. You understand what I'm saying? Keisha get at you. When he dropped his location, she probably pulled up and checked it out. No, 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 no. You're not listening, Queen Keisha. Give me your own description. I'm telling you what the police was saying. So slow down for a second. Slow down for a second. Slow down for a second. The girl was in a gang. Okay? Not only was he in the gang, I'm gonna keep remembering everybody's name, but if y'all know ATK, I don't know ATK, but I know 1200. They go back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's what, and they got that. I think they got some of that shit down in Carroll Gardens and all that. But regardless of it may, this girl was in a gang. She ain't just joined the gang. She was dedicated to the gang. Folks in the South, folks in the Midwest, and folks out West, they got a different dedication to gang than people do on the East Coast. Even though East Coast will run with their gang, but you won't see that dedication unless it's usually with Spanish gangs. You understand what I'm saying? That's where you'll see the organization. Same way with Spanish gangs. You won't really see this with like Brooklyn gangs or whatever, whatever. Respectfully to all them, but you understand what I'm saying? So this girl was a gang member, and she was only 21. So she ain't just getting in the gang at 21. She had probably been in the gang since she was like 15, 16 down in Florida. You understand what I'm saying? That's what it is. Now, I know Florida. Them girls be in gangs at 14, 13 years old down there. Same thing with New York, but it's a little different. They really try to live out charter for those that know what I'm talking about. You understand what I'm saying? I'm sad about I'm sad about it too, man. I just, I hear the whole conversation, brothers, how can I can't talk of that, but we're sitting there pretending like the men are just violent. These women are extremely violent. If you just look at the DOJ, which your DOJ website, what you'll find is within the past 10 and a half years, there's been an increase in violent crimes by women. Not only an increase in violent crimes, but in the past 3 years, there's been an ever so invasive attitude towards women and violence of, oh, well, she was intent, that make up an excuse. It was mental health or whatever. These are inclusive of women killing their children, their own children, which we just saw this recently in another story, um, out of millions that are out there. And they come across in different, different cultures or whatever too. It's not just women of color committing emphasize. We're not saying that. But what I'm saying is the demographics that are based on you and your demographic. You're not white, you're not Lithuanian, are you? You understand what I'm saying? The most I know, most of you just run around talking about FBA this, FBA that. Okay, well, this fits you. This is your demographic. This is your sitting table. Understand? So what's happening is when I hear the story and this girl is involved out amongst four other dudes and she's part of a gang and now she's facing life in prison or possibly, I don't know if Florida's still doing electric here, whatever the case may be. But you know what I mean? Eh, eh. Okay, now really James just really starting the floor. I'm getting really big. Not really. Games did not just really start in Florida. You're not from Florida if you just said that. Don't come in here talking about no gangs that started in Florida, son. Listen, homie, let me tell you something, right? I don't know what you're talking about, but there's a difference between gangs, then there's a difference between cliques and gangs within Florida. I know exactly what I'm talking about, all right? I can pick up the phone right now as I'm talking to y'all online, call people in Florida, and they gonna laugh at that statement. But let me tell you what I mean, what he means by that. He means gangs in his era. You understand what I'm saying? There have been gangs in Miami, Florida before the Cubans and Haitians started coming over. And when the Cubans and Haitians and Jamaicans started coming over, let's say in tolls, probably late 60s, mid 70s, late 80s, they brought gangs with them from the island and established them gangs in Florida. If anybody remembers the cocaine wars or whatever, what's that story called? Cocaine Cowboys. You watch that, it'll give you a quick interpretation of it. They were shooting down, knocking down people in the street over drug wars. All those had to do with gangs. Some people will say cartel. Yeah, it was cartel affiliated because that's where they were getting the thing from. But in the city of Florida, anybody will tell you these were gangs that was doing all these shoots out. You did 13 years in prison. Well, if you did 13 years in prison, you probably missed out on a lot. So don't give me that bullshit talking about gangs haven't been in Florida. Gangs may have not been over where you were at, but they were definitely been in Florida. What were you at in Florida? And don't tell me you was out in like fucking Hollywood, Florida or something like that. They wouldn't even know they don't know he was there if they hadn't dropped his location. Yeah, I mean that's fair to say if you dropped his location, but I could drop my location right now. That means somebody's supposed to pull up. Let me tell you another story, Queen Keish. I don't know if you know this or not, but about 3 weeks ago now, I had something similar like this happen. Let me tell you what happened. So somebody, I've got a feeling I know who it was, but it's down to three people. I figure it just based off what somebody said afterwards when I did a broadcast afterwards. Lucky I was good enough, you know what I'm saying, to be able to do that, and I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all my house. And but anyway, listen. So the point was I'm sitting there and I'm talking, I'm doing a live. I got quite enough people, and this is Sunday afternoon, and this is 3 weeks ago. And so somebody had recognized where I was at or whatever. I know where you at. Yo, tell them to turn around, watch your back or whatever. And there's always somebody writing that same comment. So I whittled it down to who it was. You know what I'm saying? This is one black gentleman who, if he don't watch the fuck out, you understand what I'm saying? You're going to have some problems, homie. Don't worry about me. You gonna have some problems. I slow that shit down right now. But anyway, long story short, these people were in my chat room. They was like, "Oh, I know where he is. I know that store right there." So they pointed out the store I was at, and they turned around. Let me tell you how these people, they don't give a fuck about you. You understand what I'm saying? You got to pay attention. So nobody was in the chat except for maybe two women that pointed it out to me, and I went back and I read the comment because they had said something. So I went back and I read the comment or whatever. Next thing I know, I see some dude in front of me or whatever. So naturally, yeah, I'm gonna rip up. Like, what's happening? Because it's going condensing for what's going in my chat room. Well, this motherfucker, whoever he was, you know what I'm saying? Which I think he was with the people that was in the chat room because he was sitting there looking at his phone the whole time, which led me to believe you're watching me online. You understand what I'm saying? He runs off. I leave and I go across the street and I go to the store real quick. I know the people in the store over there. So I went over to the store. Just give me a pack of cigarettes, you know what I mean? Nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And as I go in the store to get me a pack of cigarettes and everything like that or whatever, and I exit the store, I go over and I go further down the street. On the same street I'm on, but further down the street. And there's people outside eating, outdoor vending. So everybody sees me, right? As I'm sitting there and I'm doing my diatribe, my live or whatever, a police officer walks up to me, and I didn't see it at first, but my thing is I'm always looking. So I'm looking at the nigga here. I say, yo, this nigga got the biscuit on the side of his hip, and he did. So I'm like, yo, what the fuck's going on? So I'm not scared. And the niggas heard me how I was talking. I was talking the same way, yo, for fucking what? For what? Whole time, mind you, I still got my hands here on my knees, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't moving either because I know this nigga plugged me. So his man's pulls out his tool too because I start getting loud. Here come a third police officer. He already pulled out, ripped up, ready to bust at me too. You know what I'm saying? This all came off motherfuckers on the internet trying to find out what niggas were and shit. So the bigger question is not whether or not he had his location on, because I ain't had my location on. The problem was it wasn't the point that he had his location on. The point that y'all not looking at and y'all need to be looking at is what kind of demented person do you have to be to follow somebody like you freaking Scooby Doo or some mystery villain, a 007 or something around the city, all in purpose to kill him? And you killed him cowardly. You rushed him. Yeah, that came out 2009, 2009, 2010, homie. Listen, you definitely ain't from Florida. That whole I'm not talking about no straight drop. Listen, I'm about to get rid of you because you're boring me. You're trying to prove a point that ain't even there. Gonzalo Blanco and all them, man, they were doing their thing in the 80s. What is you talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking about? You talking about Haitian gangs out of Palm Beach. That's why I said you not from Miami and you definitely not from Jacksonville. You just mentioned Palm Beach. Ain't no nobody be in Palm Beach. Hold on, I'm about to cuss him out. Don't nobody be in Palm Beach, homie. Okay? Who be in Palm Beach but Jamaicans? That's it. Jamaicans be in Palm Beach and about this scuttle much of Haitians. Okay? On compris. On Haiti, oui? So stop for a minute. Stop for a minute. Stop for a minute. Stop for a minute. You said Palm Beach. I'm about to block him. You said Palm Beach. No, I said you ain't from Florida. I never said I was from Florida. See how you try to switch it up. This is a tap dancer. Anybody in here hear me say I was from Florida, or did anybody in here hear me say I lived in Florida? Which one? You know the difference, right? This is a Todd. Then that 13 years you spent in prison, did you spend any of it taking elective classes and anything with education? Because evidently you didn't. I know when somebody is from Florida and when they ain't from Florida. All right. And you, sir, you ain't from Florida and you wasn't out there. I'm not dropping no link. I don't want to talk to you. I don't even know you. Somebody drop some link. That's what you wanted. Let me see something. Give me a second, y'all. Let me give you something, right? Let me give you something. Let me see something, right? Hold on one second. You've been online for 2 years. You got 643 subscribers. Is that right? That's why you want me to drop a link? Nah, homie. We ain't dropping no link. I don't fuck with you. You trying to get some clout. Nah, we don't drop no links over here. What's up, my main professional scammer? Sure. I'm a scammer, but let's see how many followers you got. This is more, most of these people that are doing this, they either 10 years and no subscribers. I'm not talking to nobody that's been online for 10 years and don't have no subscribers. Listen, let me put something forward to y'all, right? I'm gonna finish two things. First of all, that dude didn't know what the fuck he was talking about. He just started talking about Palm Beach. Think I'm talking about Palm Beach, and that shit didn't happen in Palm Beach. It happened in Jacksonville. That's why I cut him off. This Orange County business. What the fuck are you talking about? Second of all, you know what I'm saying? He knew nothing about Miami, which let me know that he was. See, there's Florida people that live in the sticks and in the country, and they'll drive over to Miami. Miami and Orlando, 2 hours away from each other. All right, Miami and Orlando. So Orlando is like Orlando, Jacksonville, all that crap or whatever. That's orange. But everybody know Broward County and all that too. So sometimes you'll have people, they'll drive down from Jacksonville, they'll drive down to Orlando, and then they'll go to Miami or whatever, and they'll move down there. They'll stay down there. There's more money in Miami. Everybody know that. Not to say not to diss Orlando, but everybody know that. And so they'll move down there, yeah, but they'll get arrested for some dumb shit or whatever. Be like that dude, go to jail for 13 years, and then think he still know what's going on out in the street. Homie, if you was locked up for 13 years, you don't know what was going on in the street. He talking about 2008 and 2010. I was like, son, what the fuck are you talking about? The gangs were in Miami, Florida. Zopound go all the way back to the 80s. What the fuck is you talking about? That's why I cut him off, because he didn't know what he was talking about. You always get dudes that come in here and say, listen, first of all, ain't no real street dude gonna want to talk about some shit like that online anyway. Second of all, you're not gonna change my motherfuckers. You're not gonna change my page into some fucking like I don't know why these guys always into all these conspiracy theories and all that stuff. I don't do conspiracy theories. I do what's in front of me. I also have another batch of people that I'm starting to learn that are highly jealous of me. You understand what I'm saying? Like, like this fat kid that we got. I ain't never met men. You see, this is another thing too, and I'll go with Queen Keish where she said this. They could have just talked it out like men. Queen Keish, these ain't men. These is men that were raised by wayward women. You understand what I'm saying? Somebody tried to steal that word from me. He tried to steal something else today too, and I saw that. I was like, homie, when you start doing that and see my podcast. See, listen, let me try to tell you something. Nowadays, and I heard another podcast that mentioned this, so people were listening. You have men that are out here that are extremely jealous of other men. And they do it based on an interpretation, in my opinion, from what they've learned from their mothers. You understand what I'm saying? Single moms. And the funny thing about it is, yeah, man, jealous of me because I do a whole bunch of different things. I do a whole bunch of different things. Bye bye. You understand what I'm saying? I don't like people like you in here. But anyway, long story short, yes, jealous. I don't sit in my bedroom and do lives. I work very hard. And my heart is being extremely tired a lot of times. My heart is getting into places that these bloggers don't get into. And the only thing they have to counter when you say stuff like that is, oh, some sarcastic comment or some regular comment or whatever the case may be. But I said this before and I'll say it again. The broad base of African American men hate each other. Okay. The women as well. They hate each other. The majority of them are in the rat race to be viewed as something solely, not collectively. And this is where they make the mistake. You will never get anywhere being just recognized solely. It's stupid. It's like you're in a sea of 10,000 people and you think you're the one person that sticks out and be different. You see this type of behavior, and probably many of y'all, if you're Black American or Latin American, you've seen it in public when you're amongst a sea full of white people and there's only one other person of color and they won't even speak to you or make eye contact with you for perhaps a fear that the people that they're trying to impress may judge them somehow or another. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a very weird form of thinking. Well, these kids that killed Julio, Foolio, more of that same ilk. They didn't care what happened to that young man. And they had one thing to do was go there and destroy him. Go there and destroy him. And they didn't care that they destroyed him. All that they cared about was making another person that looked exactly the same way as them know that you can't cross them. Now, mind you, they don't do this for any racists. They don't do this for any neo-Nazi. They don't do this. In fact, we got people out here right now screaming and applauding for a female as a black candidate, and she ain't even black. The culture is kind of weird, you know. I've had people come in and say all kinds of things about me, porque yo soy la cubano la moreno, and I'd be like, yo, word, that I'm black. Like, what are you talking about? But they don't look at it that way. Some of them. But you ready to? And these were women. But you say let's go full throttle for a woman that's Indian and her dad is half black. Make it make sense. So you got a lot of people out here that in retrospect, they hate each other in small micro doses. You understand? Like little small micro doses, they just hate each other. And so when I had what happened to me or whatever, and I had guns pulled out on me like 3 weeks ago or whatever, it was the same thing. It was somebody following me. You understand what I'm saying? You have a very sick mindset of people out here will try to do some damage to you and everything else. So you got to be prepared. Now, I told the police personally, and I do mean this. I said, I don't have a gun on me now, but I feel that I need to have one on me all the time now. And I also told them, I said, if somebody run up on me, especially in my state, I'm gunning you. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't come from pussy. Excuse me. I didn't mean to curse. I don't come from chumps. You understand what I'm saying? Like, that's the first thing you gotta remember about me. I come from some crazy dudes. The people that you've seen on camera with me, yes, those are amongst my friends. And if you could see the elk of them, then you would know quite really what I'm talking about. I ain't even had like people that really mess with me. Like if you seen the people I be around, if you got a glimpse right there, if you seen the people who have been on camera with me. But I'm saying if you see who I really be around, but la gente latino, tú sabes claro, you would really be like, oh, okay, I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it. You get it quick. You know what I mean? But some people, they don't get it. They like to test it and say, oh, this person is talking out. Julio, you made your mistake. Yes, by putting out your location, but you did it with good intentions. You were trying to celebrate your birthday. You didn't realize you had enemies when all you did, you care. And as a result of that, you had this terrible woman that, yeah, because she's a woman, she's 21. You had this terrible female that decided not only to follow you, but to also give out your location and let the gentleman out of the car. And I believe you jumped out the car with him to shoot up this man, all in the name of your gang. Okay, that's fair. You know what I'm saying? But Ma, you got to pay consequences now. That's how the game go. Now I'm gonna tell you, you wasn't around no decent people growing up. Because if you were, thank you very much. If you were around some decent people when you were growing up, you would be on your way to college, or you would have been in your second, third year of college instead of being out on the streets gang banging. I don't knock y'all to gang bang. No. I knock y'all when y'all gang bang and y'all only ride on your own, but that ain't what y'all was set up for. Community resistance and progress. Damus, Brims, Folk in them, Stone. You are the elite of the warriors of the culture, whether you know it or not. Nieta, Latin King, Salido, same thing. You are the warriors of the culture, and you were set up for totally different means. Trinitario. Anybody that know what I'm talking about, know what I'm talking about. You were set up with protecting the community. And y'all failing at that. Y'all failing at that. See, it's what I need for you. And this is why y'all was set up. It's a young woman by the name of Sonya Massey. Y'all heard about her? She shot at point blank, right in the face, just like that. Point blank, 3 times. They refused because he thought she was dead, and he was hoping they were counting that she was dead. This officer, don't have to be that he was just white, he was an officer. And this officer killed this woman, Sonya Massey. And I thought about it the other day. And the other day, I wasn't going to say anything about it because I said, ain't no use in me saying anything about Black American women. Because a lot of Black American women think I hate them for some reason, even though I'm sexually involved with Black women all the time. But anyway, that's not here nor there. Dark-skinned ones, too. That's my preference. I like dark-skinned Black females. Anybody knows me knows that. But I'm not going to sit here and put this girl that killed this boy or had something to do with killing this boy in the same ilk with a girl graduating from Yale University or Columbia this summer from an HBCU or something like that. You starting to make sense of it now? Huh, ladies? You getting it now? These women exist in your gender, in your racial gender. And instead of ignoring them or acting, oh, it's just a few of them. No, there's thousands of these Quees and Keishas and pumpkins and peaches all around the hood. And they sit around the hood and they start shit and keep shit going all the time. And all the men around there know it. And they'll still dope out some money for these broads. They'll still put out some money for these broads. I ain't gonna be on here long. I ain't gonna keep y'all much longer. Guys, make sure y'all hit the Cash App, $STRINGERBELL80. I'm also going to address something at the end of this real quick. I just want to end my little diatribe. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. You know what I mean? Real quick. which is this. Y'all listen to me. Gang violence ain't gonna stop. Violence itself ain't gonna stop. Racism ain't gonna stop. But if y'all gonna be that quick to go out there and follow this boy around, check his location, go on a 4-man team and all that shit or whatever, only thing I'm saying is, would y'all consider people like, and I'm just doing this out of theory, what do you consider the position of officers that are now walking around free, like the man who killed Sonya Mancy, a man who killed a woman that could look like your mother or your auntie? Where's your pride now? See, that's what we need to gang member. Go handle that. Go handle that. You ain't listening. Go handle that. Because if y'all don't follow Foolio around from hotel to location, sit back idly waiting for him to make the next move or whatever, how come y'all don't put that interest in going at the motherfucker? The nigga that shot, since we're talking about Florida, the dude that shot Trayvon Brown, George Zimmerman, this dude went as far as to sell the gun that killed Trayvon Martin. He sold it in the auction. What was gang at? Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I'm not, listen, you're talking to one of yours. All right. I was one of yous, did the time, everything. So let's not get it confused. I'm not some squeaky ear, clean cut. You know what I'm saying? Nah. I was in the dirt, baby. I was in the dirt in a real way. I made the front page of the paper. You're not talking no amateur here. You understand what I'm saying? Or someone who's unexperienced in the mode. You get me? And I still be outside. So my point is, it's not about acting tough guy. What I'm trying to say is, and I'm saying this even the mothers, because some of you mothers out there, y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what your son involved in. You know what his daddy was involved in. That's what you got with him. You understand? You understand what I mean without having to say it, with saying it? And so with you knowing that, right? You know that a lot of these kids nowadays are involved in a whole bunch of stuff that they shouldn't be involved in. And there's a whole bunch of things you could be doing to say to them to at least circumnavigate them and let them know. My point is this. If you're going to go get Foolio and follow him around or whatever, then follow around motherfuckers that bother motherfuckers Sonya Macy. Follow around people that are doing all these other atrocities and everything else to your own people that look like your aunt, your grandmother, and everybody else, because I know you love them, right? Now, what if somebody did something to them? Or you want to sit around on the side like, oh, this is terrible. This is the reaction when somebody, oh, this is terrible, man. Yo, we got beef for Foolio. Well, let's go get him, yo. Yo, I heard he over here. Yo, we gonna get that dude. No fear, right? The Sonya Mancy, oh, he's a police officer. You know, we better not do nothing to him. The white folks are gonna come after us. Lordy. Y'all scared. That's what I'm telling y'all. And y'all can't be scared no more. There's a whole bunch of things coming your way. Listen to me. There's a whole bunch of things coming your way. There's a whole bunch of motherfuckers, there's a whole bunch of people out here plotting stuff specifically for the culture. And they're hoping that your concentration on your own will take advantage of them coming in and doing whatever they want to do to you. That includes me too. I'm just a bilingual one. That includes me too. So I need y'all to teeter away, whether y'all put it in the music. Listen to me. I'm talking especially to the young boys. I ain't talking to the cats that's, well, I don't have y'all as viewers anyway. Most of my viewers are like 18 through 44. That is my demographic, evidently. That is my largest demographic. I have an 18% demographic of age 45 and over, and it's even less in the 60 age range. All right, so I know who I'm talking to. Listen here and listen to me very carefully. You'll thank me later. I'm never wrong about things like this. Start getting them prepared. I know this is circumnavigated into something else, but listen, gangs, start getting the troops prepared. You're going to have to go to war soon. You understand me? And it ain't going to be with people that look like you. So you got to get your mind out of that thing, that contention right now. I've seen it been done. I've seen Crips and Bloods shake hands in California now 4 or 5 times. You know what I'm saying? I refuse to respond to anybody that don't know the difference between your and you are. Your is Y-O-U-R. You are is Y-O-U-R apostrophe Y-O-U apostrophe R-E. So yeah, you lost me on that one. And if you think you're doing shame tactics, that don't work with me. I'm more accomplished than you. You see what I'm saying? Like shame tactics don't work with me because I don't give a fuck what you think. For shame tactics to work, I have to care what you think. It don't work with me. And if you go too far, I just find out where you are, who you are. You understand? So shame tactics, they ain't gonna work with me. We need the gangs. The same way y'all follow Julio Foolio around, y'all need to stop putting concentration and war with each other. You understand what I'm saying? And start putting concentration and war with the real enemies. Because listen to me, gangs, there's a real war going on. And even as much as I don't want to see Biden win, I can guarantee you there's going to be a contention of the U.S. population of racist people that are going to think things are going back to 1865 until Trump can get in line and tell them it's not. And that's what you got to be wary and spiteful of. That first 8 months that he's in office is going to be hell. We're going to have to fight, and you're going to see that quickly. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is something that's preemptively coming in trajectory towards you, where you're gonna have to start taking your concentration off of war with each other, whatever. And trust me, I've been there. I done shot at folks or whatever, still do it to this day. But it's the fact of it's got to be worth it. You understand what I'm saying? It's got to be something that's intrusive. It's got to be. I don't think the little pity packs are, and maybe I'm wrong, but the things that went back and forth between Foolio should involve the same enthusiasm. They followed this man from hotel to hotel, but nobody's following the dude that killed Sonya Massey around. Nobody looking for his address. Nobody looking for where his wife lived at. There was a story not too long ago. I don't know if y'all heard about it or not. There was this black gentleman, and his daughter had been murdered by a white police officer. You know what that gentleman did? He went and he killed. He literally went and he killed that police officer's daughter. I mean, he's locked up for it now. But he went and killed his daughter. He said, if you're going to kill my daughter, I'll kill your daughter. I'm not leading y'all to do anything. I'm not giving y'all any suggestions. I'm clearly stating to y'all and telling y'all, you're going to have to defend yourself. If Trump wins, which I'm pretty sure he's probably going to win, if he does win, listen to me. A lot of people want to see the nation change or whatever the case may be. I get it. But if he does win, there's also another contention that comes behind it. That's all the Wahos and Wookiees that for a couple of years, bring back Trump. Bring NASCAR 7 days a week. What happened to Hee Haw? I want drag racing every day of the week. Don't you change that channel. You know them types. They gonna feel it's okay to turn up now. Okay, back to things as usual. Jasper, where's the rest of the niggers? You understand what I'm saying? So you're gonna have some issues for like the first 6, 7, 8 months after he's off office. I'm trying to tell you, y'all better listen to me. Now, I want to end this off with this. I have been gone for like 2 days. I hadn't been online, was recording music, having a good old time, living my life. And, you know, the funny thing about it is you get a lot of gentlemen on here that are very jealous-hearted men, in one way, fashion or another. And I want to say once again, regardless of what you did some messed up things. RP to Foolio and his family. If you're just now tuning in, make sure you hit rewind. You can catch everything from the top and understand what I'm saying. Sometimes I do quick edits in the midst of things because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. But I need the gangs. I need them. If you're going to exist, y'all got to exist where y'all were purposely birthed for. Respectfully on Tookie and them and everything. And everybody else is involved. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all wasn't developed for that. And your charter say that. So I ain't said nothing wrong. And I'm makes part of that. You understand what I'm saying? So you feel me? Don't make no mistakes about it. I know the game. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is you need to start getting back in order and hence what you were created for. And it wasn't for this. It wasn't for this. You understand me? And the more y'all guys get in tune with what that is, the more and more you'll start to understand that, hey, we got bigger problems. Foolio shouldn't be in the ground right now. You know what I'm saying? Them five shouldn't be on the hunt and now facing possibly life in prison at 21, even at 31. That's the oldest one is 31 years old. That means you basically got 70 years, 60 years left on earth, and you're gonna spend it in prison because of a moment and some rap beef or something like that. You understand what I'm saying? So please pay attention, people. You know, and I want to say respect to Queen Keish. You know what I'm saying? I hope she ain't think I was disrespecting her or nothing like that. But I had to slow it down because you know what I'm saying? Game's been around since the Black Panthers. Exactly. Thank you, King Santo. I don't know what that dude was talking about. I was like, yo, I'm not even arguing with you. I didn't even see you wrote that. Game's been around since Bloods and Crips and the 80s. Exactly. He was talking about in Florida. I was like, yo, what you talking about? I've lived in Florida. Gay's been in Florida, and that was a long time ago when I lived in Florida. I mean, I've been back and forth to Miami a million times, but living there, I've lived in Miami. I know what I'm talking about. I think they all crash dummies. They really thought they wouldn't get caught. Gangs everywhere, Dumpsky. Exactly. That's what unemployment looks like. Exactly. Gangs been out in Avery for a long time. Since you know what you're talking about. Exactly. Like gangs have been in Florida for years. I mean, they were smaller, clicked up ones, but you know what I'm saying, in neighborhoods, but they spread out definitely. Foolio Mars says she did teach him to join the gang. She's a nurse, yeah, and that's what I said. A lot of them and in Florida, you have working mothers too. I don't want to get that wrong. But in a lot of situations too, when you talking about a lot of the girls in Florida, a lot of girls in Florida are rough. Like, listen, dog, ain't nothing to be in Miami. You see a chick down there and she got the whole side of the car airbrushed, dope girl. She'll let you know she a dope girl. These girls got the pistol and the ooh, man. The girls that I know, like, let me not talk too much, but the Asian girls and the Cuban girls I know in Florida, I don't mess with the Jamaican girls in Florida. They kind of rough, but like the the Haitian girls and the Cuban girls I know, man, please, they be moving more than the dudes do. Like, please believe that. It end up better. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the dude, he'll have $100,000 car. This chick own 3 houses. She own one in Brickell. She own another one in Hialeah. She own another one in Aventura. You know what I'm saying? Florida girls move different. Trust me. When they go out to the bag, they go out to the bag a different way. Shout out to Miami, man. Somebody shall remind them of DMX. Ain't one podcast I go through, somebody shall remind them of DMX. RP to D, though, you heard? What does this one say? I can't hear you. They wouldn't ever know she was there. Somebody said so small. Hold on. Let me get this one out of here. Somebody said, yeah, I don't know. I guess he was talking to the other one, King Santo. I don't know who he was talking to. I think he was talking to that dude. Yeah, I think he was talking to that other dude. Yeah, he was talking to that other dude. That's who he was talking to. He wasn't talking to me. Okay, I understand. Yo, yeah, I ain't answering nobody named George Washington. Let's get you the fuck up out of here. Maybe some weirdos in the chat room, man. Guys, also make sure you hit up the cash. But I just wanted to say this. Like, if somebody came in here and there's two particular gentlemen, and I'm not gonna say their name because I just think they whack. I'm killing y'all niggas in numbers anyway. So you think however you want to think it. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever you think going on, baby, you think that. You know what I'm saying? But like if you're a real NYC, everything that you think you seeing, you might not be what you seeing. You know what I'm saying? And everything that you might be seeing might be because I want you to see it like that. Figure that out. But anyway, everything you might be seeing is because I wanted you to see it that way. You get me? But anyway, long story short, I just want to say this. You know, you got your followers and your supporters coming over to my page on a daily basis, but I don't do the same to you two content creators or other three content creators. There's another female content creator because in my what's up? Let me see what time it is because I don't want to go into a dawn diatribe and I ain't got time. I might come back and just do it real quick. Yeah, I'm just gonna say this real quick. You got this one female content creator, which baby, listen, you doing the Frankenstein method too. See, the Frankenstein method, let me explain this to you. It's to grab a little bit from this person, grab a little bit from that person, grab a little bit from that person, and then put it together like Frankenstein and make it like it's you. It's a very weird structure how these people operate, but this is how they operate. And so they'll borrow from you and do things like that from you, but at the same time, they won't pay homage to you. You understand what I'm saying? They tell people to say negative things about you. So whatever you hear, take at face value what you see versus what you hear. What you see is a whole bunch of men, women, sitting in their bedrooms doing lives and commandeering and demanding that you donate to them, and they do no work other than turning this microphone on and just talking. They don't do no work. You don't see these people in locations, you don't see these people doing anything, but yet and still they got the audacity to tell people don't donate to this person, don't support this person, blah, 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 and trolls of women. You understand what I'm saying? I don't hate no chicks. But like I said once, and I say before, and if y'all could take it from that motherfucker, what's his? Excuse my French. That one, what's his name, Miss Netta or whatever? Because I heard the same debacle going on with her. There's this thing where this new hustle is to sit around and say and point very quickly and say, "Oh, they don't like women of color. They don't like black women," and you use that as a crutch. That ain't no crutch, because if you using that as a crutch, sooner or later it's like the boy that cried wolf. There's a wolf coming. There's a wolf coming. And then sooner or later, when there's really a wolf there, nobody believes you. Nobody cares. Nobody even is interested. And that's the path that you ladies are leading down right now with this whole thing. Every time somebody says something about a woman of color or gives an opinion about it, you are up in arms. Well, here's something to talk about right now, because I don't feel enough of you ladies that claim that you're so into the culture. Enough of y'all not talking about Sonya Massey. No, a lot of women, instead of talking about Sonya, and that's why I sat back and watched, a lot of y'all instead of talking about Sonya, you got your sights and ears set on Jaguar Wright instead. What's up with that? I thought you was about the sisters. I thought you was about the culture. No, you're about one thing, and that's vanity, ladies. Vanity. Vanity. Vanity, being quirky, and being sassy. And that sassy stuff don't work with me. No, 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 no. Yo soy latino lamareno. Claro. Claramente ahí. So what I'm telling you is, do all the gossiping you want to. Do all the whistling you want to, but for your favorite blogger. But the point remains. Both of your favorite blogger that you were doing this on behest of, whether it be from Pork Chop or the dude with the crown on his head, or that chick that sits over there yelling at people all the time. You understand what I'm saying? Who I never even had an interaction with for any reason for her to come out her mouth and say anything about me, talking about she was doing it on behalf of Pork Chop. You know better than be from where you from, and interact and inject yourself in beefs. And you sit on my channel and watch my channel and try to duplicate what I do on your channel. It's gonna be hard for you to do that the next coming up week, sweetheart. You're gonna see. It's gonna be hard. I want to see you copy this. You got a lot of people out here that are in the African American and Latin community here on YouTube that are mentally freaking ill. And we're going to talk more about it. If you're sitting around like these people that were following Foolio to kill him, that's somebody that's mentally unstable, dog. And we're going to talk more about it in the future. Other than that, I'm out of here. The Cash App's right there. RP to Foolio, man. I'm going to get up out of here. I may or may not be live back tonight, but guaranteed I'll be here tomorrow morning with y'all. We'll have some more things to talk about, whatever, and there'll be more uploads tonight as the night progresses. So be on the lookout for my channel. Guys, make sure y'all separate yourself from these suckers that be coming on. I guess a war going on with these Cash Apps and all this stuff or whatever, man. Listen, let me get mine. Y'all get yours and keep it moving. Bonjour. Yeah, on compris ma garçon, ma savier. But yeah, it's John avec moi. But it's just funny somebody's in a chat and they speak French. But listen, man. Yeah. It'd be funny. F61 USA. On parle français, oui? Oui, et c'est bazar. Les bazars. Ça vient. I know. Damn Foolio out of here and all that. Yeah, man. But they caught us killers today. So you guys go back and watch the beginning of this post so you understand everything I'm talking about. I'm out of here, guys. Make sure y'all support the Cash App. Don't pay attention to none of these people that's out here that's talking or whatever. They all capping because they all want cash apps. And some of the people that be talking about people begging and all this stuff, you be the main motherfuckers begging. So stop it. Before I would start putting up reels exposing y'all for who you are, you can't mention your cash app but once or twice for a show now on. All right. I see what's going on with you. I'll talk to you guys later. Make sure y'all hit up the cash app. It'll be found in the pinned comment in the comment section. Also, you can find it in the description box. And let me mention it one more time. $ STRINGERBELL80. And also make sure y'all hit that like button before I get out here. I'll talk to y'all a little bit later.